What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day today to come here and hang out with me. I've got a really cool video that I want to share with you guys. This is something that I've been thinking about and just kind of like mulling over in my mind for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days maybe. I haven't been able to play too much as of, recently. However, that's given me a lot of time to really kind of reflect on how Season 3 has been feeling. And I know we're still pretty early in it, so to have any kind of decisive concepts or ideas right now, maybe you could argue it's a little bit too early, but I would say, on paper, not much changed for this season. Like overall, not really much has changed. I know that there is some balance adjustments, some nerfs, some buffs. We got a new hero, we got some new maps or whatever, but people are still playing the same heroes. It still feels pretty much the same. I will say, however, that I have noticed something specific that is actually something I've been bringing up now for at least a few weeks at this point. And that would be that we have an actual meta shift right now. It's been a bit, I really kind of feel like it's been a while since things have like actually changed and games have actually felt different. When Season 2.5 came out, we had the flyer meta, we had the poke meta. It was a real thing. People felt this. Everybody was dealing with this and experiencing it. It was like a lobby-wide movement, let's say. There's a little bit of a shift away from diving, and flyers were just reigning supreme. However, it didn't really last as long as I think people thought. I think with games like this, because the heroes do such different things, when you just don't have them in your games that often, you're not accustomed to having to deal with them. So sometimes we get a bit of a meta shift, and it comes from really just a misunderstanding in how to play with those heroes are like, in the game with you. We're just not like prepared for it. So people had to learn to play different heroes. They had to learn to be a little bit more aware. People had to start looking up. Right? This was something that people didn't have to do before. So after a while, people adapted and it kind of just settled back into the norm. Flyers were still present, but they just weren't so much of an issue because I know for myself personally, in the beginning when the flyers were really taking over, I found myself being the only person that's looking up. You got 5 other people on the team and nobody's helping you shoot Iron Man or Ultron. It's like, how are we supposed to manage this when, 2 people on their team are just going completely unchecked? But eventually that shifted. People started changing and it kind of, I guess for lack of a better phrase, the flyer meta kind of died out. The poke meta remained. But I've been saying for a few weeks now that I'm seeing a shift. And I can truthfully tell you that we are there now. So if you are not adapting to this new meta shift, it's going to be tough for you to win games. Take my word for it. We're going to get into that in just a second. But first, what I want to do is show you guys this crazy screenshot. Somebody in my Discord, Rise, shout out to Rise, sent this into the channel for me to look at. I did not know that Lord farming was a thing. Maybe I'm in the dark. Maybe everybody knows that this is something that's happening, but I have never seen a lobby like this. I've never had anybody petition to do something like this in one of my lobbies. But this is a 51 and 55 second game, like 51 minutes and 55 second game like this. Look at these stats. Rocket doing 1.7 million healing in that time frame. This is just wild. Honestly, for me personally, like, you want a Lord farm, okay, whatever. If that's what makes you have fun playing this game, by all means, have fun. But I don't know that it should be allowed. Like, the proficiency gained in just that one game, look at that. That's insane. I already feel like Lord status really kind of doesn't mean anything. It's just a display of time spent on a hero. Truthfully, it doesn't really have any indication of skill level. It should. You'd think that it would. If somebody plays long enough to get Lord status on a hero, you would think that they'd be good with that hero. It's not really the case. I have given up different heroes to other people that have Lord status to them. Like, okay, yeah, sure, you take Penny, you take Rocket, you take Jeff, whatever, and they're terrible. It's like, I don't mean to be rude, but like, this is the thing, like, Lord status really just kind of doesn't mean anything. And if we have these Lord farming lobbies going on, it just further invalidates the status of having that Lord icon. So I don't know, like, let me know what you guys think. Should this be allowed? Should people actually be able to be in lobbies like this? Should this get flagged? Because I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of have a problem with it. At the same time, it doesn't affect my gameplay, but I just kind of feel like it's not really what's intended for this game. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. As part of the shift that I am seeing right now, we're going to dive like right into this. Highest value comes from depth. And what I mean by that is heroes that are just doing one thing are just not quite as relevant. So there's a time and a place for every hero. Certain team comps, certain maps, certain game modes, sure, right? There's a lot of nuance that goes into this. But when you're thinking about what a team needs, you need damage absorption, right? You need blocking, you need shielding, you need DPS output, you need healing, you need support, you need protection from divers, you need the ability to dive. There are all these different things that your team needs. Some heroes only do one thing. As an example, Hela. Phenomenal DPS output, very high damage, great hero to play. Great for the duelist role, only doing DPS. Then you got heroes like Luna, doing very high DPS, but also healing. Also working to help with counter dive. Also working to, put the frost icon, I don't even know what it's called, on a diver, healing the tank, healing two people at once, supporting a dive while they're far enough away that, they can be hitting the back line, but Luna's not like out of sight from them, right? Luna's a hero with a lot of depth. Magneto, also a lot of depth. Shielding, he has directive protection. He can, bubble Star-Lord. Or Scarlet Witch, somebody who's about to use their ult, give them that extra protection to get higher value out of it. Bubbling Punisher is an amazing decision to make as Magneto. Support ult cancel potential. He's bringing so much to the table, and he has decent DPS too. I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I play support, when I play strategist, I would say the hero that kills me the most is Magneto. And I'm not even like I'm not exaggerating. When I play Jeff specifically, the hero that eliminates me the most is Magneto. It's not the DPS players. So it's just really interesting that they can run that front line. They can just push a little bit past the tanks and target the back line. It's an extremely powerful play to make. Wolverine, of course, just absolutely insane right now. So relevant. And Wolverine is, part of the reason we're seeing the meta shift that we're going to talk about right now. He is like easily shaping how lobbies play out, how games play out right now. He is the strongest tank counter. He has high DPS output. He can dive, he can cancel and counter dives from other people. And he's also highly resilient. It's very difficult to take him down, so he can even stall on point. There are just heroes right now that have a very diverse kit. It's a good way of explaining it. They have a very diverse kit. They're doing many things. And I think that just can't be ignored anymore. It's easy to say, yeah, I want to play Spider-Man. I want to play Hela. I want to play, Punisher, whatever. And that's fine. Great heroes have their use cases. But when you have a team full of heroes with very diverse kits where everybody is bringing some kind of additional value aside from only doing DPS, it can be really hard to deal with. I would say that players are also finally adapting. I don't know if what I have been, preaching for months now has reached enough people at this point, but objective control seems to be taking over. People are more apt to pick characters that are stalling, that can hold the objective, that can be present, that can be on the front line. We're not seeing so many people running, strategists that are staying back and DPS that are staying back. We're seeing a little bit more presence, at least in my lobbies. Okay, so maybe this is different for you guys. And like I said before, I know not a lot has changed since the last meta, so you could say like, oh, well, people were doing that before. I just feel like right now, there's a little bit more priority placed on stalling and objective control. We're seeing, at least in my lobbies, a little bit less true DPS. We're seeing some more control aspects coming into play, and we're definitely seeing a lot more stalling. With all that being said, I have been saying this for weeks now in multiple videos. The tank meta. It has been on the rise, and I don't think that we can argue this anymore. The tank meta is like, it's truly here. Tanks are not to be undervalued or underestimated. They're doing tons of damage, insane control right now over the objective. Emma, it doesn't matter what they do to her to nerf her, she's still just absolutely insane. She is so strong. Some of the most difficult games that I find myself playing right now is when the enemy team is running Emma, Mag, Thing. We're seeing these 3 tank comps right now, and it's just nuts. We're seeing just this resurgence in value and validation of some of these tank characters. Captain America as well. He kind of had his little falling out, as far as like the buffs and nerfs were concerned. We didn't see him that much in 2.5. Oh, he's back now. He's back now for sure. And the stall potential, man, it's killing. It's killing these games. Like for real, it's become extremely difficult. So what I want to do now is just put together a somewhat comprehensive tier list that's going to cover highest priority, how to counter that, what heroes have low value, and then we're going to talk about some that have situational value as well, right? Like I've said, many times before, any hero in the right hands can be amazing. Hero value changes based on your rank. Some work super well in lower ranks, some don't work very well in higher ranks. In the right hands, any hero can be good, right? There's so much nuance to this. What map you're playing on, the game mode you're playing on, what your team comp looks like as opposed to the other team's comp. There are so many things, so many avenues to talk about when you're trying to tier heroes. And I'm gonna try and do this with no bias whatsoever. I'm just gonna tell you from my experience, this is what I'm seeing in my lobbies and how this all feels to me. Highest priority right now, we're just gonna go right for the top because I think this is what this video is about. I don't want to delay this from you guys. Highest priority right now, if you are looking for heroes that you want to play or you want to have on your team, very simply put, you are going to want to have even Groot. Look, Groot is having a bit of a comeback right now. Seen a lot of Groot players. Highest priority right now as far as Vanguards are concerned is almost all of them. Honestly, these are all so insane. And the 3 tank comp right now becomes extremely valid because one of the primary counters for this, being Wolverine, is often banned at this point in time. I see him banned, I don't know, I'd say 19 out of 20 games he's banned. And when he's not banned, usually whoever's playing him is not that good. So I think, people are trying to learn him and trying to play him, but we have this problem right now where they're just constantly getting banned. So you finally get a chance to play Wolverine and it's not fresh, right? You're not practiced as far as playing him in competitive goes because you just don't ever get to play him. So you finally do and you think, okay, here we go. We're great. It can be a great Wolverine player, but they've played the last 19 games as somebody else. And now it's just you got to warm up. The biggest counter to this situation right now is just, it's not in the game. I'm seeing a lot of 3 tank, 1 DPS, 2 support. I'm even seeing 4 tank, 2 support, and 3 tank, 3 support. These are real things right now. It's really crazy. Situationally, we can put, we'll throw Venom in here. Situationally, we'll put Penny here too. Thor, I don't know. Not that great. As far as the duelists are concerned, we got low value here for sure. Low value at the moment as well. You can put Hela here as a decent counter just because, okay, we're gonna say situationally. Situationally, Hela can be quite good, but it really depends on team comp. The highest value that I am seeing from her right now when I play as Hela myself would be in the instances that we have, let's say Thing or Cap or, even Emma, I would say, overextending. Tanks that have a tendency to overextend, here's a great opportunity to help deal with that. Thing and Cap pretty much play in the overextended zone unless you have a Thing that's playing into protecting the backline primarily. Hela's a really good counter for that. Arguably, more, I guess, more appropriately as far as a counter would be concerned, I would say Punisher fits into that role to be able to counter that. Hela, great. Okay, I'm not trying to talk down on Hela at all. She's super strong. Very, very good. I've been having a ton of fun playing as her lately, and I've been seeing really good results too. I would say just overall, I think you're getting a little bit more value from Punisher. He just has there's just more pressure applied from him. You've got a pretty shallow clip with Hela. There's, you spend a lot of time in the reload phase as opposed to Punisher. You're just constantly able to put shots on. Plus with the turret, that can be something that can be, quite a deterrent for heroes like these two, and even Hulk as well from pushing too far. Not too much value here from Iron Fist. I would argue as well. Not situational. And look, I'm not trying to create a comprehensive tier list where I'm telling you any one hero's tiered above another one. That's not what this is. Obviously there's no A, B, C, D type situation here. Just talking about for this current meta right now. So I don't really want to place Iron Man anywhere except for situational because his highest value right now comes from the ability to cancel the ults of the supports. In my opinion, that's his highest potential, his highest value right now. Yes, he does good damage. He can be a great pick if you need to have a flyer. If you want to run that poke damage, he can be great. But this is situational. I would argue right now that Moon Knight has a little bit of counter potential. It's just about pressure. Okay, you're doing that chip damage, you're doing constant pressure, you're always applying that force to the enemy team. You might not be getting elims, you might be feeding into the ults, maybe. But if you have other teammates that are doing something, this is the problem that I see very often is I view Moon Knight as supplemental damage. I don't view him as like a finisher, like Punisher or Hela, let's say. But if you have a very accurate Punisher, or you have a very good Hela player that's very good with positioning, playing into what's going on already with Moon Knight, just to be giving a high damage output to everybody, you have the potential, and I guess I would say the likelihood, that you are dealing damage to whoever they are shooting at as well. And sometimes you just need that little bit of an edge. And with Moon Knight, you can just kind of position however you want. You can flank, you can even dive with him, you can just sit in the, behind the tanks, or you can hang out around the support players and help to protect them from divers as well. He's just got a really good potential to deal a lot of AoE damage and become a counter, in the sense that because these tanks are so prevalent and so difficult to deal with, that little bit of extra splash damage can prove to be quite valuable. These heroes right now, with mediocre healing, it is so hard to take them down. It is so difficult. I see games where, I feel like people are probably partied up and they're running Emma and Strange or Emma and Mag, but I would say more so Emma and Strange. And the Strange's whole purpose is just to shield Emma. It works. It works. You cannot eliminate her unless you've got somebody that's effectively taking out the back line, but usually, there's some sort of protection for that. The strategists are playing forward. They've got 2, maybe 3 of them. So yeah, you dive and you get 1. They still have 2, which might be matching what you have. You're not it's not a positive gain, right? I would say Namor proving to be quite good as well. I've been seeing some videos lately about him playing, and with the higher velocity of the spear, the faster, he throws it, the projectile's easier to control, it's easier to get your shots on. This team up is still very valid as well. This is very strong if you need to be dealing with tanks, or you just want to be flanking or trying to hit the back line. The extra damage from the squids is incredible right now. I would say situational. I would put Scarlet in situational. The reason I say that, and I don't want to put her in low value, is that she can do quite well flanking. And if you are playing in a situation where you've got an Emma and you've got a Strange on your team, so then you have the team up validates her. So that's what makes it situational. Without the team up, she's just not as good. And honestly, if you have Mag to help you with your ult, that's extremely helpful. Or you can do it in the back line behind the shield so nobody can shoot you, and then, you've got that protection that way as well. I would put Squirrel Girl in the counters right here. It's just massive ground damage, right? It's really good at taking down the walls. It's really good at just dealing chip shots and stunning the tanks as well. She is, unfortunately, even though she is a bit of a tank counter right now, in my opinion, she is countered by these 3 tanks specifically. Sure, he's got a shield too, but I would say more so these 3 kind of counter what she has going on. The diamond form, you can't be stunned in. It blocks things. The ice shield blocks things. So you're losing the ability to trap the enemy players. Now, some of these I'm just going to leave down here because they're just kind of not, it's not really what I'm like trying to get into right now. Just trying to make a space for all of these in different places. I would say highest priority right now, if we want to talk about, let's move down to the healers. If we want to talk about healers for highest priority, real quick, let's just throw some of these up here. Highest priority, I would say right now would probably look like this. Based on the matches that I'm seeing and the way that I'm seeing things play out, I would put these 4 up in the highest priority. The reason I have Ultron up there is because he has the ability to do a lot of damage, and right now, lack of DPS is it's seriously a problem because it's so hard to deal with the tanks. If you don't have enough DPS going out, then they're just not going to die. And I mean, good luck taking over an objective if you can't eliminate the enemy tanks. It's just the way that it is at the moment. Jeff, I could say you could put in situational. Based on the map and based on the team comp, there can be a ton of value coming from Jeff. A ton of value. I would put Rocket in situational as well. The team up here with Penny is very good. It's very good. Also, his ult can effectively cancel a lot of ults. Like it can cancel Star-Lords if it's timed, around that as well. It's just good. Situationally, very good. I would say as a whole, if you are thinking of playing strategist right now, or you do want to main that in your lobbies to have the highest potential of success, I think you got to pick from these 4. I really do. I know people say that Invis can do well against dive, and I think that there's some truth to that, but it's limited. You have that one skill, you got your one jump, they have a long cooldown. So, if a diver is persistent, then I don't know. I don't know about you guys too, but when I play her, when I jump sometimes, it just double jumps, and I use the invis, ability when I don't want to use it, and then it's on cooldown, and I don't have it when I want it later. So that happens to me sometimes. Maybe it's just my keyboard. Maybe I don't really know. That happens to me though. These 2, good. The res comp, there's value there. Honestly, I think the res comp needs to go. I think it's been around for too long. I think it has to go away. It stops, in my opinion, having the res comp. It stops these two from really ever getting any change, because the res comp is so powerful. If you made these two stronger, like legitimately stronger, it would just be so broken. I think it's time for it to go. The other team ups come and go. They change. They take away one. They give somebody else another one. Like, this one's been around. I think it's time to get rid of that one. I hope at 3.5 they remove that team up or at least rework it so it's different. It's very strong. It's a very, very powerful team up, especially if these two players are very skilled with Adam and Mantis. It's pretty insane, but I think it's time to change. I kept the divers down here alone just because they're doing their own thing. But I will say, if you want to think about highest priority, like if we wanted to take like from these here and just give you highest priority as in a way of thinking this is who you should play as if you want to run these roles. I mean, obviously I would say, even though I put him in the counter role, like he's high priority too. And sorry, I don't mean for this list to be confusing. As I'm doing this now, I'm hoping this doesn't come off as something confusing. But what I really am trying to get across here is that there are certain heroes that are going to be higher priority because they're doing more than one thing. Right? Some of these heroes just do one thing. Damage, 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 damage. Good stall potential here, right? Situationally, this can be quite good. Damage. And that's not to say that these aren't a high priority. Like if you are playing DPS, if you just need strict damage output, phenomenal choices, right? I'm not like not putting them up anywhere because I don't think they belong somewhere, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like highest priority of like people to play goes, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't really feel comfortable saying at this point in time that any DPS player is a priority pick. You need DPS on your team, yes, but I do think that you need DPS not so much as like I just want to get picks type situation. Like I just want to play. Let me say this. If you're picking a DPS character that's just true DPS, you need to be making that choice based on what is difficult to deal with from the other team. I don't think it's good enough anymore to just say, Hela has really high damage, pick Hela. Well, what are the enemy tanks? What do we actually need to deal with right now? You need to be picking a DPS that's going to be actually effectively countering something. So with tanks being so ridiculous right now, if you are just going to be true DPS, what tank are you trying to deal with? That needs to be the rationale behind who you're picking. And I know, like, it's like I said, and I'll repeat myself again, any hero's valid. By leaving some of them down here, that doesn't mean anything. Don't read into it. They're great, phenomenal, great. You know, I would just say, like, if you are struggling to win games right now, think about your team comp and think about the enemy team's comp, because and tell me if you don't notice this, but the tanks right now are just brutal. It's brutal. I'll play so many games where it's just like, can we please kill a tank? Can we please take care of one of these tanks? Like, they just don't die, and it's so difficult. So like, if you're trying to like perform better, you're trying to improve your chances of winning, this is what we're looking at. You're looking at highest priority pick right here to make a huge impact for your team. And then you're looking at counters, not counters for your team, but counters for how you're going to deal with the enemy team, most likely picking the same people. And I think this is where you're going to see that value really start to come up. And then situationally, you've got this, I would say, low value. Like, these are really the only four right now that I think I would truly say maybe don't play as them. We're seeing a real comeback for BP right now too. You know, like I said, by leaving them down here, that doesn't mean anything. Like, BP is insane. He's getting banned a lot right now. So just food for thought, guys. Like, the tank meta is definitely coming. I would say it's here. I would truthfully say the tank meta is like officially here right now. So how do we deal with the tanks, right? We deal with the enemy tanks by keeping our tanks alive as efficiently as possible. And then we deal with the enemy tanks by making sure that we have strong counters for it, or we're working to hit that back line so that they have reduced healing. And I think if you wanted to give priority to those, it would be these two. These would be your highest priority for dealing with the back line, but I would also say you have a really strong potential with Namor to do that as well. You can also get picks on the back line with Squirrel Girl. You can also get picks on the back line if you play a somewhat like flanking, diving Penny. But Penny's not like a true tank in my mind. You need other tanks, right? You can't mainline with her. Now, that's not possible. It's unlikely. So anyway, I just want to put this together to just kind of like create a bit of a visualization for like how I'm kind of viewing things right now, and then just talk about like how this tank meta is shaping up, because it's changing the way that I'm viewing things. When we were coming into this season 3, I was speaking quite frequently about who I was going to be practicing with and playing as. And I was right in those decisions, taking time to learn Thing, and I'm going to start working on Hulk here very soon, playing more as Emma, as Magneto, as Strange. But I think right now there's just a little bit of a shift where I'm going to say I feel like a lot of people have a pretty solid grasp on playing tank and a pretty solid grasp on healing. What's missing is the ability to actually counter that, because when we don't have Wolverine, people are just spamming the tanks. So there's got to be another way to deal with that, right? And that's going to be it for this video. I hope I conveyed my point. I feel like maybe I was a little like underprepared in how I was going to like present this, but like, look, the tank meta is here. Make sure that you are ready to either play into it or you're ready to counter it, because if you cannot control the objective, you cannot win the game, and the only way to control the objective is to get the tanks off of it. So multiple ways to accomplish that, but the tanks are a problem right now. If you guys are enjoying videos like this, I would really appreciate it if you took a chance to subscribe. I've got a lot more videos coming out here soon. We're going to be running some games over the weekend and into next week as well with people from the Discord. So if you want to hop in for those games, link for the Discord is in the description. It's also in the channel bio. Hope to see you guys in the Discord. Thank you again. I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.